Hello and welcome to a rainy day in Florida. We are working on the abandoned LSFC. We've been putting in some work on this thing this week, trying to get everything finished up and sorted out. We put an electric power steering pump in. We got stock LS1 injectors in. We got it running much better. We still need to fix them. I think my issue is, I've got them unbolted. I got to pull them off. That this is an LS2 intake and those are LS1 injectors. I think the O-ring size needs to be 11 mil instead of 10 mil. So we're gonna figure that out. But anyway, we got a handful of things to finish up on this thing so we can go take it for a rip. And I am very, very excited to drive it. We've got big angle now. We modded the knuckles a lot and it's got a lot of angle. The steering, the running right, like it's gonna be a new car from when we pulled it in here a few days ago. And I'm super, super hyped for that. So yeah, let's dive right in. I always forget to undo the injectors before I unbolt the rail. I guess it makes it almost easier because I can kind of, whoa, a lot of fuel. Oh, there we go. Oh yeah, that's definitely our problem. These things have a ton of play in here. Okay, now we know what we need to do. Some bigger O-rings to go in here. All right, we're gonna go a little janky here and RTV our injector O-rings. Should get the job done. All right, got the rails back on. We'll have to let the RTV cure for a little while before we start it up. So I think we'll move on to wiring. That's been one of those things I just don't feel like doing, so might as well get it out of the way. Before it had two small dinky fans. Now we've got Mishimoto race fans. These things are rippers. So therefore they pull a lot of amps. So I'm kind of limited on options here with this ARC switch panel. Here, let me get this thing off the lift so I can show you. I never really messed with one of these ARC switch panels. I'd seen them before, I'd thought about getting one. The cool thing about them is you can mount this pretty much wherever because you just have this small ribbon cable, that part right there. So you don't have to run a bunch of wires up here, you just run that ribbon cable. The downfall of this setup is you've got this relay board here, which is great, but the only way to use these relays is off the switches. So for example, my fans, I need a relay for each fan. Now I can't trigger one of the other relays with the same fan relay. Basically what I have to do is have two fan buttons. So to turn my fans on, I'd have to click two buttons. Now I'm a big fan of simplicity. Like in my LS Miata, oh, it's not even here. I was gonna go show you guys that it's getting some work done at Bell Raceworks. Anyway, in the LS Miata, I turn my ignition on, I press the starter button, that's it. Everything else is automatic. Fans come on with the ECU trigger. I mean, fuel pump comes on with the ECU trigger. Everything is triggered externally, except for things like headlights, turn signals, wipers, things that you aren't gonna have on at specific times, just whenever you want to. So anyway, what I'm gonna do is wire in a relay on the power feed. So basically, we've got the power coming out of this one relay for the fans, going to the fans. I'm gonna use that power wire to just trigger another external relay for the other fan. So I know those of you who've never really messed with wiring, that may sound complicated. It's very simple. Here's what we've got. Just another relay. Bada boom. It's like a standard Nissan one. I used to save these. Fusible link, because we'll wire this straight to power. Basically, we'll have constant power coming in, then we'll have that power going out, we'll have a ground, and then we'll have a trigger to turn the relay on to send power out. So yeah, let's start getting this wired up. I'm just routing my 10 gauge power wires to the fans. You want to run heavy duty power wires to your fans when they're big fans like this.
So give you some time.
All right, we got the fans all wired up, all hooked up. I put some shrink tube over the positive here because basically the spade didn't go in far enough. But I mean, it's relatively clean. It's as clean as I'm gonna make it for this car, more or less. But it's good wire, proper gauge wire, so it's safe. It's just not the nicest looking thing. Let's see if it works. Oh yeah. Got some real fan power now. you can feel how much it's drawing through the radiator. It's crazy. I need like a piece of paper to show you. Sweet, glad we got that done. All right, well, I've just been taking some time and tinkering my way through a bunch of things. I put this other coupler on here, which I cut down to get this in kind of the exact right spot to close the hood a little better. Got my catch cam mounted up, roof nutted, firewall, yada yada. P-clamp my fuel line, just little stuff like that is what I've been tackling. But man, you know, I'm just kind of standing here looking at this, trying to figure out what other things I need to do. And I'm pretty hyped, man. I mean, this thing's really coming together, you know? I mean, before it was like the intake didn't fit and no power steering and open lines and fans weren't hooked up and yada, yada, yada. And now it's like, I mean, it's pretty well ready. So in the morning, our silicone carny should be dry and we can take this thing for a drive, which will be really exciting because it'll be the first time that I've driven it where it's actually ran halfway decent and with power steering and with angle. Anyway, yeah, it's dark. I'm gonna call it a night. I'll see you guys in the morning. All right, it's another gloomy day. Back to work on this thing. Let's start it up. I don't have a lot of faith that my silicone carny is gonna hold and keep us from having any vacuum leaks. I think I'll need to get like LS2 injector O-rings to run these, or put an LS1 intake, but then I have to get a different throttle body, but this throttle body's kind of messed up anyway. I don't know, let's start it up. Now it's like we need more idle screw because it's not sucking in a bunch of air. I think it needs even a little more than that. Leave an injector out front. Definitely still sucking in air. You can hear it, but it's like a smaller suction. Just that rich. All right, well, it's better. It actually comes back down to idle now without hanging idle for 5-10 seconds. So that's definitely a big improvement. So we'll let it warm up a little bit and then go try to drive it, see how it is with the power steering and everything. It's so quiet. All right, so on this test drive, we are riding a little dirty. We got no tag, but there is this fake Japanese tag. And I feel like knowing the laws and how the cops work, they could write me a felony for this. Putting the wrong tag, at least in Florida, putting the wrong tag on your car is a felony. No tag is a misdemeanor if they prosecute you. So if you have to do one or the other, better off running no tag. Not that this is a real tag, but I can see them trying to make a case that I had a fake tag on there. So hard nope. really see what it's like drifting, but the car seems to be running pretty good other than the high idle. We can easily fix, but the power steering seems to be working flawlessly. Like, it feels great. Oh, that's super exciting. Like, it feels just like my F-body normal power steering pump did. Definitely still got some loose nonsense going on in the rear. Feels like something's bouncing around back there. Definitely got some issues to work out, but power steering works, fans are ripping, engine's running, it drives, you know, we're definitely getting there. These fans are such rippers, man. No power steering leaks. Yeah, look at that. It doesn't even struggle now with the engine running, it just needed that extra voltage. Oh, that is so sick. That is awesome, man. I mean, we're close, dude. All right, so I think I figured out the weird noise thing. Ow, I just hit my head on the bash bar. This exhaust is basically touching right here, so I think when the car lost traction, wheel hopped a little bit, this was smacking into that, which was our noise. So that's good. Nothing in the drivetrain seems loose, everything's tight. Everything seems good. So now, not hit my head this time. We need to align it. It's got no alignment on it whatsoever. I know the rear is going to be a little wonky. I don't think we're going to be able to get it exactly where we want it because of the way you can adjust it. It's kind of like you only really have like 1 to 2 adjustments and they both kind of do the same thing. It's a little weird. But yeah, so anyway, that's what we're going to do now. Got to get our alignment stuff out, throw it on, and try to get her straight.
Taylor, I just gotta be negative.
Gotta worry about everything. All right, right there we got no toe, which I usually like to run pretty much 0 toe because it makes tires last longer. Some people will toe in for more grip, but on this car we're gonna be running some tires that are a little too big for the power level, so we don't need to bother with toe in to get more grip. We should have enough. So I'm gonna walk them down at 0 toe and move on to the front. All right, so now I wanna figure out how much angle we have. And basically, if we lose much, if any, without the spacers. So it looks like we're probably right about 55 degrees because the wheel comes in a decent bit when you set the car on the ground. So we'll pull the spacer off both sides, set it down, see if it's the same. Because if we can run without the spacer with the amount of angle we have, we'll be in a lot better shape because it'll keep the wheels inside the fenders. We won't have to worry about bashing them up as much because with them sticking out, oh, come on. You know, 2 inches past the fender, we're gonna just destroy these. So let's try that. Yeah, I mean, we're losing maybe 2 degrees or something. Very, very minimal amount. So I think I'm going to run without the spacers for now. If we have a big problem and we're rubbing all the time, we'll deal with it then. We'll either add spacers and add a stop. But for now, we're going to run without them so we don't destroy these fenders because I'm assuming they're probably not very easy to find. All right, got the spacers off, did a little mild fender hammer roll just to fix it because just that quick drive with the spacers peeled it out. So definitely, I think, a better call to remove the spacers. All right, I want to go drive this thing again real quick just to kind of see if I can get on it and if it still does the shaky thing it was doing, because that was kind of rough. So I just kind of want to get an idea of what that might be so I can plan to tackle it. I mean, nothing in the rear suspension seemed loose. I think it's just loss of traction, a little bit of wheel hop, the exhaust smacking up and down. But I want to verify that. So anyway, plus I just want to drive it again. It's the first time it's like had power steering and ran like somewhat okay. I also ordered the injector O-ring. So basically the LS1 nozzle size is smaller than the LS2. So I couldn't just get LS2 ones, but I did find ones that are specifically for an LS1 injector and an LS2 intake manifold. So that should definitely fix our vacuum leak, which will fix our weird running issue, our high idle, our breaking up and stuff. I think that's all attributed to those massive vacuum leaks coming through the injectors there. So we're not going to go too crazy with the drive. I just, like I said, want to drive it again. And it's actually got some tip in now. Oh, there's the idle. Before it would just like chuck, 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 chuck. When you hit the gas. It was fine until about halfway through the last drive, and now it's like won't even try. It's just like The thing I'm definitely most happy about is the power steering. Like, it feels great. Doesn't seem to hesitate, feels super smooth, good level of assist. Oh, I'm so excited to get this car on track. I feel like it's gonna be so fun. Just because it's such a beater, we're just gonna thrash the crap out of it. Drives pretty decent too. It's a nice time of year to drive a car like this because it's cold out, and obviously it's not too hot in here. Oh man, look at that sunset. It looks really crazy in the camera. Look at that, it's like purple. Okay, anyway, drift events tomorrow. Have to have an uncracked windshield. This is not even close to being something that would be let slide, you know, like paint on it, destroyed. I mean, this windshield is effed. However, I've called every glass shop in the area and basically none of them can track down an RX7 windshield, especially not in this time frame. I've been calling for a few days. So it means we are kind of SOL as far as making the drift event, but that's kind of okay because the car does still need a few things tidied up. I want to pull the dash back out and I want to clean up this wiring. It's just a disaster under there. I was going to leave it. I was going to let it slide, but with wiring, you know, when you have a rat's nest like this of just stuff everywhere, it's so hard to diagnose. It's so hard to figure out what's going on. So I want to clean it up, organize it, make it nice and neat and easy to figure out and deal with all that. We also need to get the injector O-rings, so those should be here soon. And yeah, I mean, obviously, you know, there's always stuff to tidy up, and I want to make a new seat mount and get this seat over in that side. So we still got a good bit to do. Should be a fun next video, knocking the rest of this stuff out. Hopefully go for a drive where it's not running funny and idling high, and basically have it completely sorted out and ready for its first track day. So unfortunately that track day won't be tomorrow, but we'll have it soon, I promise. So yeah, I think while I'm waiting on stuff for this, I might dive into the Zafiro. I'm not sure, that would be kind of fun and exciting, but who knows? We also are waiting on truck stuff. Should be diving back into the Cummins build soon. So yeah, anyway, hope to see you guys for all of it, but for now, that's gonna be it for this one. Thanks for watching, thanks for subscribing, goodbye.